It's a sight people are used to seeing in New York, Montreal, Mexico City. But today, residents of Los Angeles got to try out the new subway trains between Union Station and MacArthur Park.
I've never been on a subway before.
We have long lines. If you wish to ride
So how is it? You like it?
You have to get in line again.
Yeah.
Everybody must...
Eventually, nearly 8,000 passengers a day are expected to ride the Red Line. They'll use automated machines to buy $1.10 tickets. Then they'll be protected by surveillance cameras and subway police. Among the first riders today, Mayor Tom Bradley, who said he promised a new transit system when he ran for mayor back in 1973. He joked he's a few months late, but the day is here.
And that's going to deliver us into the 21st century in the kind of style that this community deserves.
Bradley then received a Go Metro license plate from Governor Pete Wilson.
Well, there will still be people who, notwithstanding the air and the congestion, probably want to spend time in their automobiles. It's hard to use a cellular in the subway.
Anything that stretches just under 4.5 miles and costs a little under $1.5 billion has critics. So amid all this celebration, there are a few people who say this day should never have come. One of them held his "Taxpayers Taken for a Ride" banner outside the Pershing Square station.
The only people who should be celebrating today are the contractors and the politicians whose coffers have been enriched by the contractors.
Still others, urban planners, question whether a limited rail system can make any difference in an area like Los Angeles that's so spread out. Tom Bradley thinks it will.
If we did not have this system by the year 2000, we'd come to gridlock on Wilshire Boulevard. We couldn't carry another bus on that system.
By the year 2000, the subway system is expected to cover miles, stretching to North Hollywood at a cost of $5 billion. Today was seen as historic by many. Bill Anaya, who's driven an RTD bus for 19 years, brought his children to ride the Red Line.
That will alleviate the congestions on the freeways and the street, and it will be nice for everybody.
Until 5 o'clock Sunday, those who want to share a little history can ride for free neath the streets of Los Angeles. On the Red Line, Carol Hutchison, Fox News.
The Red Line is not, as many believe, the city's first subway. Tony Valdez takes us back to the time when Los Angeles moved on wheels of steel.
This is a rare piece of color film shot in the original Los Angeles subway nearly 40 years ago. We could have called it the Red Line because of the Pacific Electric cars that used the subway for 30 years up until 1955 on their way to Hollywood, Santa Monica, the San Fernando Valley, Burbank, and Glendale.
It was fun. It was noisy. As a kid, I used to buy some donuts at the subway terminal building and sit next to the motorman and watch him all the way out the subway terminal, or out the subway, and enjoyed it. It was an experience.
Beginning in 1925, this block on Hill Street between 4th and 5th Streets was one of the transportation hubs for Los Angeles. If you wanted to get a streetcar, you'd board it back in this area that's now a parking lot. If you wanted to take the subway, you'd go into the subway building and then down to the underground terminal. For those of us old enough to remember those days, it's a strange case of deja vu, because in 1993, the new Red Line subway runs directly beneath us here on Hill Street. A generation ago, there were two streetcar companies. The Los Angeles Transit Line's yellow cars were concentrated in the Los Angeles basin, while the PE's red car track stretched across the rest of Southern California.